What's up, guys? It's your girl Muff, and welcome back to another episode of my podcast where sometimes my perspective on shit
can get a little reckless.
Today we are joined by a special guest, and while y'all may frequently see her on your For You pages on TikTok, I see her every other day because it's my fucking sister.
What's good?
It's your girl Kieosha.
You follow me?
We ain't gonna call it no girl talk. We're gonna name this episode Woman to
Women.
Period.
Because you need to know.
Period.
I'm going to tell you what they don't want to tell you.
Period.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's talk about the elephants in the room.
Bitch, you calling me fat? You feel like an elephant, bitch? And these shorts.
I be feeling like a school bus. I be feeling big too.
We're gonna hop right on into it, y'all. Most of y'all know depression has many categories that fall under it, but specifically we want to target postpartum depression, but I call it mom depression. Cause I feel like it's specifically for us.
It is.
That postpartum.
And it's not talked about.
Dad's gonna be feeling that shit.
And it's not talked about enough.
Bitch, I got 2 kids, 7 and 8, and I still got postpartum.
Me too. But back in the day, I used to be hard. I used to be like, don't nobody make me cry. Baby, I am at home crying for my life right now.
I still hear phantom cries of babies, and my kids is grown with fucking 401ks. You understand?
Your kids got 401k?
Hell yeah, bitch.
Oh.
You know, my son work at the shipyard.
Ooh.
Cam said she work at Chipotle. I'm trying to get her to, go back to school because she come home smelling like beef every day.
Josh want to be a single, so.
Oh, damn. Okay. That's what's up.
We'll be at home.
Yeah.
Everybody want to be a rapper.
Bitch, you remember when we wanted to be a rapper?
Bitch, you remember them days.
Bitch, we was in the Yo Harbor moon old fat face ass.
We was at full moons righteously.
Period. Bitch, we just knew we was finna
In
blow
that little
up.
dirty booth.
We was finna blow the fuck up. You
We
understand?
didn't
I bet
know.
it was all type of COVID and that we didn't even know.
You remember the church shoes we had on? We was taking pictures and editing them in Marlena House on Moffitt Road.
And my mama commented on that shit on Facebook and told me to put on some fucking clothes.
I been through with some church pants on and a church shirt.
Bitch, this bitch had on some patent leather.
Bitch, I had a quick
This bitch had on some patent leather heels that you. This bitch went to Pentecost.
What you had on?
A bra.
A bra and some fucking church shoes.
Bitch, I
And
had on
some
a
jeans
bra
that was
with some
flooded,
jeans.
licking your motherfucking ankles off.
We had our days,
Yeah.
but we're grown
better.
and we're better. Some things we definitely want to hit on with postpartum depression is how underrated it is. We have a lot of people nowadays that like to tell us, oh, it's not that serious. Everybody has to go through it. As a mother, you'll get over it. That's my worst thing that I ever want to hear come from anybody else that specifically does not have children, whether it be a female or a man. Do not tell me that we will get over it. I'm not over it, bitch.
And I feel like in the black community, and specifically, if I can quote on that, we didn't grow up in households where our parents were able to even address depression, simply depression at all. Nevertheless, having babies and talking about postpartum depression, they try to give you a whole lot of medications for things that probably won't even work, and then you have pros and cons to the medication, and then you have more problems.
Bitch, when I got put on medicine, that shit made me crazier. You understand? I thought I was losing my mind, before the medicine, and then when I got put on it, bitch. Hello? I don't feel like, especially if I'm coming to you seeking help and you're trying to medicate me, don't give me some shit that if it doesn't work for me, I have to come back to you to go through a whole type of another therapy to get off of it. Because when I got put on medicine, I had to go through, I was told that I had to go through therapy to withdraw from it. Huh? Like
therapy to withdraw from something that you prescribed to me to make me feel better. That should make me
I ended up cold turkeying, and it was not good results after that. It definitely wasn't good results, and I will never, ever, ever do it again. Like I said, I have a son with autism, and his doctors in the beginning pressured me to put him on medicine to kind of, ease his symptoms and make it better for me. It wasn't helping him. Yeah. It was making it better for me, so I wouldn't have to deal with, the frequent meltdowns and him acting out. I don't feel like that was going to solve
Why would I
the issue.
medicate my child? Why are you trying to make me medicate my child to make me comfortable? I'm not looking to be comfortable. I'm looking to make him comfortable so that it does work smoothly for both.
I feel like they weren't helping us meet a common ground. They were just helping me to not have to deal with him. And I've seen, even in my own family, I've had, you know, family members on medicines, and it just zoink them out. Like they like zombies. Therefore, I am not looking forward to, you know, ever prescribing him any medicine. And I'm not speaking against anybody that looks to medication. Hey, what works for you may work for me. What may not work for me, you know.
May work for you.
That's the same thing now. Didn't I just say that?
It's okay. Nevertheless, if you can lean into a more natural way to heal or help yourself deal with postpartum depression, do so, because pharmaceutical is a billion-dollar business, more than a billion-dollar business. So pay attention to the things that you are putting in your body, because you have to make sure that you are alive for your kids' sake. So,
how do you expect your kids to flourish if you are not even your best self? You know, you can't expect them to be their best selves if you're not your best self. And I had to realize that, even though it's been, almost 7 and 8 years after having a baby, and I still got postpartum depression. Yeah.
Every day you're not your best self.
Heck no. It's a everyday process, but as long as you are aware of it and you're taking the proper steps to improve yourself,
that's all that matters.
That's all that matters. And, you know, whatever anybody else has to say, fuck them. Do I look like I give a fuck?
Because
I don't. Period. Shit. So with depression, we are all aware that it comes with different ways to handle it, and it comes with different ways that it affects you. Yours may be different than mine. Mine may be different than yours. I may be able to handle mine differently than you. You may be able to handle it different than I am. You know, that doesn't make it less of the issue, depression. You know, it really doesn't, it doesn't lessen or it doesn't weaken the name of it. It's still what it is. However, we have a lot of people, including myself, I'm one of them. I like to eat. Go, bitch. Hello?
Hey.
Beep beep.
I was like, agree. You like especially me. I'm like, me too. You get what I'm saying? I like to eat too.
Stop smoking weed.
I won't be doing that.
Okay. I'm one that likes to pick up a fork when I'm dealing with things emotionally, and it has caused me to blow up. You know,
from the flow up. Me too.
Bitch. Anyway, it's caused me to you know, become a size that I'm really not proud of. And I'm not going to necessarily say that, oh, it's all depression's fault, because I have the ability to control my emotions, and I have the way to control how I react to certain situations. I just choose to cope with a fork sometimes. And that's not the best way to do it. I wish that I were able to. I wish I had a time machine.
that scared the fuck out of me.
It's deep. I love the fucking eat.
At least you get a fork. Shit, I'm about to eat that shit with my hand. Don't watch me in the refrigerator. I drank a jug of tea. I'm telling you, I ain't gonna find a cup before the bread. And then that shit become mine then.
Let me make sure my shit's still in the refrigerator up in here. I really think that, you know, eating the coke has become,
it's common,
a mechanism to heal, and it's really not. You know, I don't think a lot of people really, I feel like the root of it all is people have to do a lot of soul searching. You have to do a lot of soul searching mentally, physically. You have to really surround yourself with people, habits, and things that genuinely, sincerely make you happy. It's no way to just be like, oh, you know, I'm feeling this way today, but tomorrow I'm all better, especially if it's super severe. I've had my days where I'm like, you know, I've been down in ruts where I just knew I was done that day. Like, I was done. Stick a fork in me, I'm through. But I had the mindset to where, you know, I still got to get up and I got to be a mom. I got to go to work. I got to be a daughter. I got to be a friend. I got to be a co-worker. It's going to be over tomorrow. It's not the case. It's not a daily process that you can just get over overnight. You sleep it off and it's gone. It don't happen like that. I've smoked weed and done that before. I've been high for 2 days.
She ain't doing it no more.
Period.
She delivered.
Period.
I'm not. The biggest thing to help me cope with depression was the fact that I had to look in the mirror and realize what triggered the problem. and also allowing myself to feel like I feel. A lot of time as women, we have a hard time allowing ourselves to feel. Okay, it's okay to be sad. Why is it okay for everybody around you to be sad and throw a temper tantrum, but you can? Please understand, nobody understands your depression like you. So just because they downgrade it doesn't make it less important, okay? So if it's important to you, just surround yourself with people who support you. So whatever makes you happy, you do it. A lot of times we are depressed because of fear of doing something different, just because we're stuck in feeling like we're feeling at that moment, okay? So it's normal, and I'm not here to judge nobody, and no other woman should be able to judge you based off how you are emotionally feeling.
It's hypocritical.
Very.
It's very hypocritical.
Make it make sense and make
You
the math
definitely hit a
math.
point when you said, you know, it's okay, basically okay not to be okay. A lot of people feel like you always have to be okay, and that's definitely not the issue. You have to allow yourself to feel those emotions, and that is the foundation of, you know, soul searching, in my opinion. Is basically feeling those emotions and allowing yourself not to be okay, so that you know and you are aware, and that you're able to kind of learn and build from that. You know, you have to allow yourself that time. It's not anything that you can just be like, oh well, I know if I smoke a little ganja, or, you know, drink something, or take something, it's gonna go away. It's definitely not the case. And I pray that if you are one that is dealing with it and is having a hard time, and you really can't find your common ground, or, you know, establish a foundation to start your healing process, my prayers definitely go out to you. You know, I'm really not one to give great advice, but I can say that I'm an advocate for something like that. Please, if you are one, get you seek you some help. And it does not necessarily have to be a pharmaceutical pill.
Amen.
It can be talking to somebody, investing in someone to talk to you, somebody that's going to understand you and just not trying to listen to you. Because I went to therapy before, and my first therapy session, my very first therapy session, I was referred to a facility for 14 days. I had to go over there and stay for 14 days.
For them to medicate you.
And they were going to medicate me, and it was going to be better.
No.
And at that moment, I knew I had to do something. And I'm so glad. I'm not going to say that I'm 100% all just vamped up. I have my days. I have my days where I sit in here and I cry. And I'm an overthinker.
Who doesn't?
I'm an overthinker. I overthink a lot. I overprocess a lot of shit when I shouldn't. I had a whole conversation with myself in Hardest parking lot this morning. I think that's why my sandwich was a little cold.
So what?
But I had to, because I had to realize that, you know, I had to set those boundaries for myself.
Yeah.
To know what it's going to take for me to feel like me again. And everybody may not always have the answers for you. You know, you may have, oh, my grandma gave great advice, but what she said didn't help me. It's not always going to help you, but it's the starting process to making yourself feel better. You're getting it out of you. You know, you're emptying yourself of all of that. I found that, you know, seeking what I call a spiritual trash can was basically somebody that I can come to and say, I need to let this out. And I need you to be able to be receptive to what I'm about to say, and not let it backfire on me, and you judge me, and you know, tell me that I'm wrong. You tell me, allow me to feel these feelings while I'm talking to you. And if you have anything that you need to say, let it be something that's going to benefit what I just told you. Mm-hmm. You know, don't let it be, well, you ain't got no business feeling. That's I feel like that's a lot of traditional sayings.
That's what we came
You ain't got no, you shouldn't be feeling that way. You ain't got no right to be feeling that way. And you know, they try to tell you how you should and shouldn't feel by what you present. Just because I come here and I'm smiling at you and I'm making you laugh and I'm you know, I'm doing all of this around you, does not mean that I always have it okay or that everything is all together. You know what I'm saying? I hate that. I really hate when, especially, like I said, traditional,
yeah,
which means your ancestors,
our people,
your elderly people, they always try to throw it off as we don't have a right to feel the way that we feel.
Absolutely. Or we crazy for feeling.
Yeah.
They get crazy and depression mixed up. It's absolutely two totally different things. Mm-hmm. Just because they wasn't allowed to feel doesn't mean that in this time we're not allowed to feel. They were not in touch with their emotion. I feel like we are teaching our parents how to be emotional, like how to be okay with being. It's okay to be emotional. If people out here sucking up, you paint a pretty picture every day. You put on a face every day for people who don't even matter. The person who it really matters to is the person that you're looking at in the mirror. So what? Nobody's better than you. The only difference is yours is out in the open and they just don't address theirs. Always remember that. Things they do behind closed doors and the things you do in public, they're still the same thing. Stop letting people beat y'all up for feeling the way that y'all feel.
Don't let anybody tear you down for being in touch with your own emotions. When you allow people to step in and they get to comment on what you have going on, it's okay for people to express their opinions. When it's when you allow it to affect you. I grew up allowing people to comment, and that's what I applied to my life.
Amen.
I didn't look at it as if, okay, is this going to benefit me? Is it going to bring me any money? Is it going to make me feel better emotionally, spiritually? None of that. Is it going to help my children? Is it going to be the well-being of my children? Is that well-being dependent on this opinion or this comment? Like, no. I mean, bitch, I will not allow anybody that ain't paying the bills up in here
Period.
make me cry, make me feel no type of way. I'm not doing that. It's a different era, and that's what our parents, grandparents, great grandparents, aunties, uncles, cousins, whoever, that's what they fail to really realize is we're in a different time now. Things that they did back in the day are no longer being done that way.
Don't work
Especially
like
with
that.
everything going on, the world moves differently now. Therefore, our perception on shit is looked at a little differently than y'all looked at. We no longer have the options to do some of the shit that y'all were able to do with no problem. We're affected by it now.
Very much.
And it's a lot of that shit, and that's what kind of ties into traumatic shit.
Ooh.
You know, the traumatics of childhood, you know,
That's where it starts.
you know, the ancestors, the grandmas, the granddaddies, the aunts, the uncles, the cousins, the mamas, and the daddies. I'm not taking nobody out of that. Some of the shit that was done to us as kids have definitely set the tone for the way that the world moves now. So a lot of y'all grown folks that frown upon these young people out here. They frown upon them for acting out the way that they do. But you don't realize some of the shit that y'all did, the way y'all moved back in the day, is why. It's why. And it's no excuse.
We ain't going for it.
And I try not to penalize a lot of people because I look at it as a lot of people were like us. Just like, you know.
Learning.
Right.
Adapting.
The way we looked at our parents or the way our parents treated us, you know, because they didn't know no better.
Yeah.
So I try not, especially
Try
with
to
my
give
mom.
them the benefit of the doubt.
Exactly.
Because I don't know, you don't know their story, and we don't know their trauma, and with them not being able to heal and be open about their emotion like we are today, we can't penalize them for something that they never were healed from. So if you can be an advocate in your parents' life to help them heal, why not? Nobody said your kids can teach.
A lot of people would say that, oh, well, you can't parent your parents. I'm not trying to parent my parents. However, I'm trying to be what my parents couldn't be to me.
What you say?
I'm trying to set an example because you never know how you're affected. It's people under me that affect me in a good way. You know what I'm saying? Just because they carry the title as a parent does not mean they're not susceptible to learn anything.
Absolutely.
Just because, you know, y'all did this way, which may have been wrong. And then we grow up, we tapping into our emotions. We're kind of setting boundaries. We're doing all of this to kind of improve a lot of self-improvement. And of course, first of all, it shows. But it's nothing wrong with being like, well, hey, mama, you know, you're wrong.
Yeah.
It's nothing wrong with that.
In the most respectful way.
Exactly. You can be respectful and be a corrector.
It's called communicating. Y'all a lot of people put rules on communicating with the parent, thinking that it's some things you can and can't say. But if a parent is a parent, they are open to listen to whatever you verbally have to tell them.
Period.
So if you have a parent that shuts down, that's just maybe one of their traumas. Shutting down is a part of a trauma. You shut down.
There's a lot of them that avoid confrontation.
Yeah.
My mom is one of them.
Mine. Like, y'all don't want to, I understand you feel like you know a lot. That's understandable. We learn what we learn from y'all. But if God bless you with somebody to help you cope with the things that you never healed from and is within your children, communication is key. As our people in our community, y'all take offense to a lot of things that shouldn't have any offense taken. Especially when we're respectful to y'all. I don't feel like I should be back down in the corner when I'm a grown woman and I'm talking to another grown woman about a situation. So if I come to you as a woman, that's a moment we have as women. Don't, it's like trying to control the moment and say you're my mother, so that's like basically telling me what I can and can't say to you. I can never heal from something if we can't talk to you about those things.
How do you expect us to heal from anything if you're not allowing us the opportunity to open up and communicate what the problem is? You can't be mad when we try to come to you and tell you, well, this is the reason I feel this way toward you, or this is the reason that we have this tension in our relationship. It's because you made me feel this way. If you're not open to communicate these issues with me, we're never gonna grow and go anywhere. And that's how I feel. And it's half of the time it's because their parents did that. They didn't have affectionate parents. They didn't have parents that had the opportunities or took the opportunities to open up and be like, well, my child, let's communicate what's going on. I try to be as transparent as I can with my kids. As young as they are, I still try to communicate with my children. It does not matter. There's no subject too uncomfortable to have with your children to prepare them to be great people, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? It's just, especially with Cameron. KJ, it's just like talking to this fucking lamp right here.
Leave him alone.
You know, he don't listen to shit I say. I just, you know, I try. I love him, but he don't give a damn. But Cameron, as my daughter, my only daughter, my one and only firstborn daughter, I try to open up those lines of communication and open doors that my mom had closed on me. You know what I'm saying?
That's the best thing you could give them.
My mom, I didn't grow up with a mom. My daddy hugged me more than my mama did.
Really?
Daddy told me he loved me more than my mama did.
He was very affectionate.
My daddy, he was a Rolling Stone.
Amen.
Damn, it's a fire truck. God damn.
Hey, girl, look at the camera.
Listen, my daddy was very affectionate. My daddy, you know, definitely every conversation we had was ended with an "I love you" and as if it was a phone
He
conversation.
still kiss us.
Yeah.
Like he still.
I don't
kiss
like
us
that
on
shit
the
though, Mike.
head. Yeah, I'm a gay. So don't be kissing on me.
The
But
fuck
for
about
real,
me, dog.
he like used to kiss us on the cheeks. Our brothers even used to do it. Like we can't.
They still do that.
Yeah, like
still do
we
that.
not saying he is not the worst person. I know y'all hear stories about him all the time, but the time we had with him,
I say this. I had my father, but I did not have him the way that I needed him. I had him to wine and dine me with everything that I wanted. With money. But I did not have him the way that I needed him. But at the end of the day, I still hold you to that standard of being my father. You know what I'm saying? What you did and what happened between him and our mamas was not our fault.
And he made himself present even though he didn't live in our households. And I also thank our mothers for being woman enough to allow us to even be part of each other's life. He was a good man for the time we knew him. I do feel like he missed a whole lot of important events in my life. I don't feel like he supported me. As a child, he was great, and I could only imagine what he would have been today if he would have been consistent on being that father. You would have been awesome. You still are awesome, but you would have been awesome.
Mer, is that a word?
Awesome?
Awesomer.
Awesomer. No, don't say that. You sound like one of the kids.
Well,
Awesome.
even now, I'm not even going to say you would have been. You still have the potential to be that. Yeah. I'm still open to a relationship with my dad, even though I have not seen him in over 6 months.
We want to be in your life.
Almost, yeah. So in 6 months, I have not seen my dad.
Girl, 6 months. Try years for me.
So yeah, I haven't seen him in 6 months, and even I have a lot of anger built up toward him. But I don't. When I see him, I don't make it known. Like I'm not one to tear a man down because I know.
Why hold you in bondage of something? You have to live things for the moment. And in that moment, I'm just happy to know that you're okay. I don't even care about the things that I feel in my head. But I would love to have a sit down with him and allow him to speak for himself. Because for years, we've been hearing other people speak for him. Or him just disregarding the fact of what we're asking about when we do talk. That I just really want him to be verbally honest with me about how he feels. You know what I'm saying? So I can heal from some things that I've made up in my head, because we make up scenarios. You know what I'm saying? And we make things worse because our parents don't communicate to us what really happened with the decisions that they made prior to us being here. So I would like to still have that conversation.
You know what I feel when you said we make up scenarios in our head? You know what I realized a lot of that was? I feel like us making those scenarios in my head it was like a coping mechanism, like a blocking mechanism to try to keep us from hurting. You know, we say, oh, well, maybe he did this because of this, or maybe he's not present because of that, to keep us from being as affected as we are about it. You know what I'm saying? I know, but that was a lot of my reasoning.
I wanted to give him the benefit.
Exactly. I tried to make sure that, you know, I gave him the opportunity to make it right. I didn't want to hold whatever was going on against him. I have a lot of unanswered questions in my head. I have a lot of, I'm not even going to say anger. I'm going to take that back. I'm not even going to say I have a lot of anger built up towards him. I'm disappointed.
Absolutely.
I'm very disappointed because I feel like, you know, there was nothing that you could have done that would make me love you any less. Even though the situation at hand is a messed up situation. You know, we can't really control what's going on, and apparently he can't either.
No.
But we're all grown here. Let's not forget that. I'm not cutting no corners for nobody. Everybody's grown. You know, I feel like you got a lot of young men coming up as well, you know, kind of following behind that same pattern, because that's the standard that the world has set, that it's okay to step outside of your marriages or your relationships and go make all of these kids. But you don't realize the person that's mostly affected is that kid or those kids. You know, you thinking for the moment, oh, it's all cool, all fun and games, you know, this me, this the life I live, the bachelor life. That's the life he had as a young man. You know, the people that even my family members, you know, that was, you know, he was the man. He always kept himself up. He looked good. It was an ego thing, in my opinion, and you allowed your ego to put you in situations that affected you in the long run. It may not have affected him then.
It did.
Because he was in his prime. He was, oh, I'm the man.
Hot. He was the man.
But down the line, it caused you to, like, turn your back on the people that truly cared about you, first of all. And it caused you to kind of burn bridges.
Absolutely.
Because, I mean, look at the situation at hand. I would never come and be like, oh, my daddy was a disappointment, I would never say that. Because at the end of the day, I cannot penalize him because I don't know what he went through.
No.
I don't necessarily know what caused him to be this type of person. I don't necessarily know what caused him to make the decisions that he made that are affecting us now.
Yeah.
However, I will say, as an adult, we all have the opportunity to right our wrongs and to mend, heal. I don't feel like he allowed himself to heal from whatever it was.
Yeah.
But we all have the opportunity to mend and heal situations, problems, and relationships that were affected by our choices. However, when it comes to my father, how I feel is I can't see Jesus Christ with hate in my heart toward this man. I can't enter the gates of heaven with hate in my heart or unforgiveness.
I wouldn't even desire to. What you did to me is not even enough to desire to hate you. It's nothing that you did to me. It's what you didn't do for me.
I feel like a lot of daddy's problems came from, well, I'm going to say, I feel like a lot of his current problems on why the avoidance is there is out of shame.
We're not ashamed of you.
I'm saying on his behalf.
It. Yeah, because he feel like he's too far gone.
Yeah, hey, this ain't the daddy that they used to know. It's still daddy.
Hey,
it's
you.
Period. All over again. It's still daddy. So, you know, I feel like a lot of that comes from that. And every time I see him, you know, he go to, oh, you know, I'm gaining my weight back. I'm not looking at none of that.
We don't care.
I'm not looking at none of that. I'm looking at you. I'm here for you. I'm not here for how you look and what you don't have and how much money you don't have and blah, blah, blah. Every time I see him, hey, you got something to eat? You hungry? You got anywhere to go? Blah, blah, blah. I'm letting you know that regardless of what you have going on, I'm still going to be here. I'm still going to love you. I'm still going to respect you. I've never stepped out of line, cuss this man out, none of that. Because I want you to know that no matter the hurt that you have brought upon me, I'm not going to hold that against you at the end of the day. I refuse to go through my life with unforgiveness in my heart. And I feel like I've spent a great amount of time in my life being unforgivable toward him and allowing the things that went on to affect me, not only as, you know, father-daughter, but with my kids and in my relationships. I've allowed it to affect me because it's caused a lot of abandonment issues.
I have plenty.
It's caused, let me tell you what's so crazy. Even now, the abandonment issues that go on in my house is when Stanley come in, Stanley's the type, Stanley stay fully dressed till he go to sleep.
Yeah.
I'm the type, I'm coming in, I'm taking my clothes off, I'm taking my shoes off. Me and KJ, that's me and KJ. Cameron and Stanley are totally the same. Yeah. Me and KJ are the same. Cameron will get out of school, and she get out of school, I pick her up at 2:45. It'll be 8 o'clock shower time, and she still got on shoes, pants, shirt, and a jacket.
Oh my goodness.
Still.
Yeah.
That gives me so much anxiety. You'll never wonder why.
Like, why you going?
Because I feel like you still fully dressed and you're going to leave me.
I get it.
You know what I'm saying? And I tell Stanley that, and he think I'm so weird for saying that. Like, he sit over here with his boots on. I'm like,
where you going?
Please take your shoes off. You know what I'm saying? He like, you think I'm going to leave or something? Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes. And he thinks that, you know, just like, it's not a big deal. To me it is. You know what I'm saying? So I catch myself sometimes kind of lashing out at Cameron from that traumatic experience because I feel like
when you're gonna leave shoes on and you don't take them off, you got somewhere.
You gonna use them same shoes and that same jacket to walk on up out of here. You walking out of my life, bitch. You gonna cry for real? No. Oh, do I look like I cry? Because I do.
I do a lot.
Period. I really feel like that definitely is a trigger for me. I really deal traumatically with being abandoned because I felt like that's what my dad did to me, and I should not, be allowing that now that I'm aware of it. But it's
a learning
like
process.
I said, it's ways. It's just establishing boundaries first of all to say, hey, I no longer want to feel like this. I desire to be a better me, a better person, a better mother, a better friend. I desire to be all of this, and I know that the things keeping me from doing this starts with this, and it's all the process to heal from it.
Yeah.
And that's the process that I'm in. I'm learning to bring myself back to me and not allow the things that have happened to me affect me, As far as my mom goes, when it comes to all in all, when it comes to my mom, I feel like she could have done a much better job with the affection part. My mama raised me, and she raised me to be a young lady as much as overall anything else. She raised me to be a young lady, a woman. But all in all, there was still things missing that I felt like I reached out for, but it wasn't given. It wasn't, it wasn't reciprocated. So, I try to do that with my daughter, but I get to the point now sometimes with Cameron, like when she tries to be affectionate, she likes to, every night she wants kisses and hugs before she goes to sleep.
And you're not used to that.
I cringe.
Me too.
And I'm not saying that, ooh, get out my face, I don't like you, you little knock-kneed little,
Mouth.
But I cringe, like I have to catch myself sometimes. I'm just like, hold up, ooh, do it quick and get off me. That's how my mom was.
That's what you think about it.
Right.
Yeah. We don't say it.
But that's definitely how my mom was and still is. Like if I go to my grandma's house right now and see my mama, and I go in and I kiss her on her cheeks and blah, blah, blah. I like to shower her with kisses sometimes when I'm being silly. But she, you, baby, you would have thought I was a dog. And I'm just like, hey,
Affection may have
man. Like, what's up? What?
Yeah,
Hey.
Give me a hug, baby.
It has caused me to develop
just like
a guard. It was definitely that.
And it's hard to get over that. When you deal with abandonment issues and affection, and me, I'm not real affectionate, but I love my kids, and I love very hard. I'll take every relationship, situationship, friendship to my heart. But at the same token, I'm not an all over me type of person, and it also has a lot to do with other trauma. So, you know what I'm saying? Affection trauma can come from a numerous of things. It can come from all kind of things. Mm-hmm. So it ain't just gotta be your parent, because my mama, she used to kiss us. You know what I'm saying? Kiss us on the head. But my mama spent so much time being superwoman, so we don't notice that she was a single parent, to the fact that we just had to give her the benefit of the doubt because she was working. Now with my kids, now I see it in myself, and I also see things that I do that my mom did, that I'm trying to turn over a new leaf with my children and give them a different experience. Because my mama was a great mama. I'm going to go ahead and tell you that. We didn't do without nothing. Mm-hmm. She always did everything on her own. And watching her be... Shout out to Cheryl. My mama didn't take time to badmouth him or say nothing bad about him. My mama kind of just chunked up the deuces, got on with her life, realized that was not for her, and she did not turn the hell around.
Yeah. My mom definitely never badmouthed my dad to me. That's one thing I will forever be grateful for and appreciate. She allowed me the opportunity to paint that image of him.
And I'm doing it with my children.
Right. She allowed me the opportunity
to feel how you want to feel.
Exactly. You take this chance to tap into your emotions on how you're going to feel about this man or how you're going to feel about your relationship in this situation that we're currently in. You know what I'm saying? You're going to establish that. I'm not going to, I'm not going to plant that seed in your head of bitterness. And you grow up being bitter about it when you had the opportunity to say, hey, I didn't appreciate this, but I'm going to grow from it. And I'm going to be better than this. You know what I'm saying? She never did that. So that's one thing I very much appreciate about my mom. I just wish she'll give me more kisses. And we're straight. I understand the hugging, COVID, whatever, but you're going to give me a kiss.
She's omnipotent. She's a great person, but me and my mom is working on communication and me being verbally honest with her and allowing her to see a lot of the things that happened to me in my life. And my mom is really getting to know me, if I can be quite honest with you. My mom is just getting to know me. So it's a learning situation, especially when sometimes, even though you have a relationship with your parent, when you get older and you are in the know now, it's okay to build a new relationship. Because a lot of y'all ain't gonna go tell y'all parents when they create trauma for y'all, because back in the day, your parents used to say, come and talk to me. You can talk to me about everything, anything. But when you do something wrong, they be tearing you up. So understand, when you build an atmosphere and you tell your child to come and talk to you and you react wrong, that builds a relationship where they can't talk to you. So I wasn't going to tell my mama about the first time I lost my virginity, because I know if you said something about a boy or me touching a boy, she was going to freak out. So you can only imagine how she would act.
And it's so weird because while we grew up saying, sneaking around and whatnot, I know that we can't always be in control of what our children, with the decisions they make and the choices they take. We're not always going to be around for that. So the only thing that we can do as parents is assure that we're leading them. We're allowing them to know that I'm open to whatever you have to say to me. I'm going to be receptive to whatever you have to say, and I'm not going to tear you down about it. I'm going to allow you that time to empty yourself to me, the person that is here to be your protector, to guide you, to lead you, to love you unconditionally. I'm here for you. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't really given that opportunity because my mom spent so much time trying to shelter me and not being open to listen to me, to say, well, Mom, I'm feeling this way as a teenager. I feel this way. Have you ever felt that way? Or have you ever dealt with this? How did you deal with it? I had to learn the things that I went through, how to deal with them on my own. You know what I'm saying? Heartbreak, I didn't have my daddy to go to for that. Heartbreak, I didn't have my mama to talk to about it because she was dealing with her own shit. But with my daughter, she look at me weird sometimes. I'm like, hey, if this is happening, you make sure you tell me. Especially when it comes to the M word.
Yeah.
Essay. When it comes to that, I do not cut corners with my daughter. Like, hey, this is what this is. I'm gonna tell you what this is. You're gonna know what the do's and don'ts is, for somebody around you to do or to say to you. Period. And if it's anything out of what I said, you come and tell me. And I had to make sure I let her know that, if this happens, God forbid, if this happens, or if you need to talk to me, you are not in trouble. It's not you.
Nope.
Don't ever feel like if I say this to my mama, I'm in trouble, or she's gonna do this to me. She's gonna fuss. Don't ever feel that way. I said, whatever it is, nobody has no reason to be talking to you or touching you.
Period.
You're gonna know that if this happens to me, the first person I'm going to is my mama. You know what I'm saying? Because as a child, I was told, if you cry or if you say anything, I'm gonna tell your mama. But as an adult, now that I think about it, I'm just like,
tell your mama.
What the fuck are you gonna say to my mama if I'm laying here crying while you're doing this to me? What could you possibly say? Your daughter, crying hysterically because I decided that I wanted to push myself on her and ruin her childhood, in other terms.
Be receptive for, if your child comes to you and tell you that, you need to be receptive, because if you're not receptive, then we start thinking that you're the problem.
People have made it okay to shut that down.
And it's not something
they kids.
You do that too.
They kids.
Oh,
they,
no.
Everybody that went through that.
No.
You saying that shit like you normalized it.
Well, people love to normalize it, and I talk about uncle and cousin and auntie and all of them. Y'all don't want to talk about that, do it? Talk about it. It's important.
Talk about it.
Ain't nothing off limits with my daughter.
Be open, even though it may hurt you to the core. I didn't tell my mama until I was 19 years old.
I was 25.
I was 19 years old, and it had happened years before that. But I couldn't come to my mama, you know, years after it had happened, because I felt like I still had that fear that was planted in me as a child to say, you know, if I say anything or if I do anything, you know, somebody's gonna be mad at me. When in reality, motherfucker that needed to be mad was me.
Took me a long time because I was more worried about how the family would fall apart if I was to say something about it. Even if it wasn't to anybody else's liking, it felt good to get that off my chest after I carried that since I was 5 and 6. 4, 5, and 6 years old. Okay?
You know, some people, I witnessed that myself, of some people finally speaking their truth about it and being shut completely down. It broke my heart.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like, people don't understand it. I'm not even gonna say you don't understand until it happened to you. That's people's favorite word to say. I would pray nothing like that ever happens to anybody, anybody's kids, especially. You don't realize the effect that it has on a child and the trauma that it causes in a child and the fear that it places in a child. I was so traumatized from a child up until an adult that when it came to me, you know, having my own personal relationships, I was self-conscious within my own house. I was scared and had fear in my own house. Even to this day, I'm finna be 29 this year. I still am triggered in my own house, in my own relationship with my own kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If anything is out of the way with my kids, I'm fear. And one thing that I did learn was you can fear a lot of shit into existence. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the shit that you sit around thinking and overthinking about, you're really you actually playing this out in your head already. You know what I'm saying?
It's like power of the tongue. Even though you're not verbally saying it, you still physically think, mentally thinking.
Your thoughts can manifest a lot of shit. So I try to think positively, and I keep my prayers, and I keep my kids protected in prayer at all times, because the world is crazy. I don't run nothing past nobody. I don't run shit past nobody. And when I tell my kids, specifically my daughter, hey, I don't care who it is. It can be your daddy, your sister, your brother, your cousin, your uncle, your aunt, your grandma, your grand. I don't care who it is. Nobody. You tell me. You come to me. There's no reason nobody should be touching you inappropriately. There's no reason nobody should be saying to touch them. There's no reason for you to be talking inappropriately with nothing. I don't want none of that. And if that does happen, because like I said, we're not in control of everything, nor are we in control of other people's kids.
No.
If that does happen, you come to me. And when you come to me, please understand ahead of time, it's not you. You are not in trouble. I want you to communicate that with me so that we can solve the problem and we're able to grow and heal from it. Definitely exposed to a lot. Even though you may be in this bitch trying to steer them right, we're not always in control. We're not always going to have the answer, Sway. No. It's not always going to be, they under my protection, they under my wing, I got them. No. Look at me. My mama sheltered me. I wasn't able to really go nowhere as a child.
I went.
Bitch.
You know I snuck. Oh. You snuck with me.
Bitch, we stole a Cadillac. We stole a whole Cadillac, bitch. And the whole didn't start, so we had to push that whole out the driveway. We pushed it from the club. We gotta go. In high heel shoes. So don't take it from us when it came to being sheltered and our mama saying no. We made a way.
My mama didn't say no. The problem was my mama did.
Cadillacs.
We did. We stole cars, jumped out of windows. We done been in the clubhouse. Girl,
it ain't shit that we ain't done.
Hold on, I ain't never did in the booty. I ain't never did that.
You should try it.
Hell no.
Anyway, so yeah, I try to leave those doors of communication open for my daughters, especially when it comes to femininity. You know, it's important nowadays, because not only is that important as a woman, but it's important for self-confidence. You know, I try to teach her, hey, if you go in her room, look on her little vanity right now. It's full of sprays, lotions, lip gloss.
Yeah.
Hell, I wouldn't be surprised if she had some goddamn mascara.
My baby's starting trying to take my stuff, so I know she's getting to the point where she's.
I call her ass. Bitch, I went to Ulta and bought some new MAC blush, and I came back in it wasn't even open yet. I came back in my bathroom. She dug a hole in it with a brush. Look, Mom, I got pink cheeks just like you. Oh. I couldn't really say anything because I'm just like, I had to listen to the words that she said. I got this just like you.
She thought that means she looked up to you. So you had to figure out how to.
So I didn't break her down, but I told her, if you do this shit again, you gonna buy it.
My daughter emotional.
Your damn Robux you be getting, yeah, them shits is mine for some new blush.
And while we talking about that, I have an issue with in our community. You know, they say everything we did was grown.
Hell yeah.
Hey. Calm that down. Y'all, a lot of things that y'all used to say as adults, oh, don't do that in front of this man. Don't do that in front of this man. Stop sexualizing us. If your man needs to be watched in the room, your man probably shouldn't come to the function. My child will be whoever they want to be. I don't care. I know back in the day we were real homophobic. My children are able to be whomever they want to be. And if you don't like it, we don't have to talk to you. We are not here to judge our children. Telling a child who they can and can't be is a way of sheltering them from who they need, who they want to be. And that's a sense of control. And when you control, you have to realize that's a problem when you're controlling your kids. So make sure you're parenting and not controlling. It's different, baby.
It's a way to parent and not be overbearing.
What you say?
My son sleeps in a polo shirt and a pair of backwards jeans every single night. They smell like hot dog water right now. He want to go to sleep handsome? God damn it, you take your handsome ass to sleep. My daughter, she going out and she put on a pair of snow boots and some flooded pants and a colorful rainbow shirt. And she like it. She just is confident. And do you think I say anything? We just don't go in this many stores. But I don't say shit.
Big deal that his shoes on the wrong foot. Big deal that my daughter got on a church dress with some running tennis shoes on. That's dirty.
But yeah, if you're not allowing these kids to be themselves, what do you expect when they get older?
Stop living through your kids.
You're trying to control them into being you, or like, I just want to know what the point is.
Everything you did, you already done did it. You shouldn't be trying to live through your children.
And half of the shit that they've done, they ain't proud of.
Hell no.
So you mean to tell me that mean you ain't gonna be proud of your child?
Hell no.
Okay.
Look, my daddy was a Jezebel. I'm a Jezebel. It's different. I'm a girl version.
He was a Jezebel. We're Jezebels.
Yeah, I'm the Belle. I'm just getting started. I'm just playing. I ain't doing nothing.
Yeah. Shit, I am.
And all I'm saying is allow these kids to be who they are going to be. If you build a wall early in life, these kids are not going to be receptive to wanting to have a relationship you in the future. And also remember, you can go to a convalescent home, and I've worked in healthcare, and you don't want to be there. Allow these kids to mess up. It's okay. Through all the stuff that we go through in our life, at some point you're supposed to improve.
Okay, yeah. That's where the improvement comes in, and just most overall self-improvement. Because I learned that a lot of the shit that has affected me and that I've gone through and that I've learned from, and some things that I've grown from, some things that I'm still growing in, you know, I had to get to a point where I had to start establishing and setting boundaries. You know, I'm no longer plan to allow these type of people in my life. I no longer plan to act on situations like this in this type of manner. I no longer plan to allow people's opinions of me and what they think of my life and what they think about what I have going on to be applied to my life, and that's what's gonna be given. You know what I'm saying? I'm no longer doing it, because at the end of the day, the decisions that I make solely affect me and my family. You know, as far as my kids, that's who is mainly affected. You know, if you don't like some of the things that I may say, some of the things, especially on social media, some of the things that I may say, at the end of the day, when I made my debut onto social media, I came simply offering myself. It wasn't anything, oh, I'm going to jump into character. The only character that I have is Mercedes and Muffet. I know how to distinguish the two. Y'all, I'm Muff to y'all, but in my home, of course, I have to be Mom and Mercedes and Pancake Booty to Stanley. That's all I'm gonna be. It's a lot of people that don't agree with it. Well, oh, I can't be watching your videos. You be doing, okay, that's fine. Somebody else gonna watch it. That's one reason. Honestly, a lot of people ask me, oh, why you don't ever post your videos on Facebook? First of all, because the only reason I have, you know, Facebook is because that's where majority of my family, you know, is. Yeah. A majority of my family, the people that I've grown up with, my school and all of that, that's where all of that information is. The only reason I really keep up with it. But when it comes to my work, I keep it away. Being that I live in a city where you have a lot of these motherfuckers, I call it a crab in a bucket ass city. Because you have a lot of these motherfuckers that's going to support who they want to support. First of all, Mobile is the size of fucking Walmart.
Bingo.
Therefore, everybody's clicked up. They choose to support who they want to support, when they want to support them, what they're going to push. And then, too, if it's not up to their standards, they're going to talk about you. Yeah. So I'm not even going to allow y'all that opportunity. Being that I know who I am, I'm confident and comfortable within myself. And at the end of the day, whether I'm getting love from Mobile or the United Kingdom, I don't give a fuck. As long as I'm genuinely happy and confident within myself, the opinions of others does not matter to me. So, you know, while it does not matter, I also don't put myself in a situation to where I could possibly be affected. I've learned that. I no longer put myself out there as bait to be bit up. I'm not doing it. So I'm like, you know, some things I be like, oh, I ain't even finna fuck with it. Because at the end of the day, my followers call me one of the most unbothered motherfuckers on the planet. Because some things that y'all try to pick apart about a person, first of all, I'm gonna laugh at you. But secondly, I'm gonna make you feel just as stupid as you look trying to tear a person down that's clearly confident and comfortable within themselves. So at the end of the day, when it comes to self-improvement, all of that plays a part. It's all under an umbrella. It's always, you know, choosing you and your self-value, your self-worth, your all of that. Choosing that over all of this bullshit that others try to throw them daggers at you. Yeah, you can avoid them. And I do. So at the end of the day, it is what it is. You don't like it, you don't like muff? Bye. Okay. Peace.
When I chose to self-improve, it was because I wanted it for myself. And I'm not gonna lie to you, being on social media, it's very easy to get caught up in the sauce and start viewing yourself like other people. You do not have to be a part of a trend to be well known.
Yeah.
Like I used to tell people, I'm for some people, I'm not for everybody. And when you get to the part of your life where you feel like you're improving and you can see your improvement, it shouldn't be nothing nobody can say to you to stop you from improving.
You say I'm for some, not for everybody. So, you know, my way, how I feel is, with the way God has some of us suited up to hit the sky, everybody ain't gonna be able to go with you.
Can't take you with you.
They gonna suffocate, and they gonna have to come down because everybody ain't able to go. It don't take nothing for me to be like, yeah, you know what, you are shut the fuck out. No, I try to be as open as I can and to be willing to communicate with as many people as I can. And I have, you know, gotten feedback of people saying, you know, you are so easy to talk to. I feel like I've known you, blah, blah, blah. I try to be, because I felt like, you know, coming onto this, I felt like, okay, do I, you know, I'm gaining all of these followers. Do I need to put on a facade? Do I have to pretend? Hell no. You're going to get me with a wig and a missing teeth. It don't fucking matter at all. You like it or you don't. No? Okay, bye. Peace. I'm not looking for you.
I see.
So, I mean, how I feel is when it comes to a journey of self-improvement,
do it for you.
It just simply needs to be for you. It's not anything that nobody can take away from you. It's not anything that anybody can glitch up and twitch up to make it, you know, to what they need you to be. Self-improvement is just what it is. Self-improvement. It starts with you. It's going to end with you. The whole process is you. The way you're trying to go in life, that needs to be, you know, solely based. Your decisions need to be solely based around the way you're trying to go. And with those decisions comes, you know, sometimes having to tweeze some motherfuckers up out of that.
Sacrifice.
I always get a lot of those. How do you gain followers? How do you keep followers? You know, how do you come up with blah, blah, blah?
Be me.
First of all, whatever you're doing needs to be natural. If you get on this bitch trying to force something, it's not going to be natural. And it's going to get old. You're going to eventually get annoyed with it. Trust me. I feel like the world set this standard that everybody has to be a nurse.
Yeah.
Everybody has to be a lawyer. Everybody has to be a real estate agent. But nobody puts emphasis on what are you doing for yourself. You know what I'm saying?
You're working for somebody, never getting any time to implement what you really want to do.
Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Nothing against those.
No.
Go that route, because some people genuinely want to be there.
And I love that.
But for the people that only choose it because it's the standard that the world has said, you feel like that's what the money is, you moving wrong.
You're never
going to be happy. You're never going to be happy. You need to find what it is. Find your own niche and move on that. You know, it took me, I got on TikTok when I was, 27? From the time that I was 20 years old up until 27, because I quit my job 2020. So 7 years, I spent all of those years depressed. Some days I went to work and cried. Some days, like, I was depressed.
It just wasn't for me.
I only did it because I felt like this is where the money is. I went to school, graduated college, everything. And I was unhappy. Every single day. There were no days that I may go to work in a good mood today. I got some cutting last night. Like, I'm good today. Like, I'm finna go in this bitch and me and my patients finna be pop locking and drop. Like, I just knew. But in the back of my mind, I knew I did not want to be there. It took me having to step out on the limb, step out on, you know what? No. I take that back. Hold on, bitch. I'm going to give credit where credit is due. My auntie always said, give people their flowers while they're here.
Okay.
And I'm going to give Stanley a little tulip.
Little tulip, but give him a sunflower.
I'm gonna give him a bouquet of roses.
All right.
Because if it were not for his push into this, I wouldn't be here, honestly.
Yeah.
But he was standing in the shower. I don't think he was bathing because he was still a little musty afterwards.
Why is you telling his business?
Hello. Yeah, he was standing in the shower talking. I was just like, man, you know, I gotta figure out how to get this money by tomorrow. But, and we were talking about it. And he was just like, quit. I'm like, huh? He was just like, quit your job. I'm like, quit my job. And he was just like, take yourself serious. You've been wanting to do YouTube for years. Like, do it. You know, I'm definitely appreciative of the support that he gives. He never fails to, even though I know when I be showing him shit, he be
Because he got things
half the
to
time
do.
he don't be listening. But it's okay. Thank you for at least be willing to sit there and let me talk to the back of your head, because yeah, I'm definitely appreciative of him and the push that he's giving me to live out my purpose. Because if it were up to me, I would still be choosing the standard that the world has set, because I felt like that's what I was supposed to do.
So thank you for creating an atmosphere for us to, our men. Thank you for creating an atmosphere for us to grow. And thank you for being our first supporters, because
My biggest
supporters.
Right. But at that moment, I began to take myself serious, and I was able to develop 1 million followers in a year. So here I am now as a witness to say, when it's for you, it's going to play out just how it needs to play out for you. If it's not for you, you will know. You know, if there's a new direction you need to take it. Life is all about taking choices and risks. If you're not willing to do that, you're not willing to grow, in my opinion. And, you know, people say, well, I tried this and it didn't work, or I tried that and it didn't, blah, blah. You try and you fail, you try and you fail, but the real failure is when you stop trying.
Let me tell you something. If anybody tried everything, it's me. Okay?
Bitch, this bitch done been an astronaut before.
I've been an astronaut, a stripper, I make strawberries, I clean houses, make flyers, I cook, I do too much. You know what I'm saying? If one thing don't work, try it all until you get rich.
Exactly. At the end of the day, make sure whatever you're trying is something that you spark.
You gotta really love it.
Exactly. It
Consistency.
has to be you. It can't be because they do it,
Nope.
they making this much money, blah, blah, blah. At the end of the day, how I feel is there's enough money out here for everybody. And if y'all both doing the same thing, she may not be able to do it the way you do it, and you may not be able to the way she do it. At the end of the day, if it ain't for you, it ain't for you.
What you say?
But as long as you find that niche within yourself and you act on it, that's all that fucking
It's
matters.
you.
That's a part of self-improvement. You doing what you love. You eating the food that you, I love food. Bitch, I love food. At the end of the day, that's all a part of self-improvement, is just making sure that you're not only loving yourself, you loving what you do, you loving who you surrounding yourself with, the habits and the company that you keep. You have to be comfortable, and it has to bring out the best in you. If you're around a motherfucker that you always have to be, you have to transfer yourself and be bitter to match their energy, get the fuck from around.
Get away from them and stop being scared to cut people out.
I pray that each and every one of my followers are able to learn something from this. You know, we may not have been able to touch on everything, but if y'all want a part 2, please let us know, because we will definitely be in this bitch for you. We can be your big sisters. But I'm definitely appreciative of, you know, the support that I received, not only from them, but from my loyal supporters. Y'all never fail to amaze me with the support and the love that y'all overwhelm me with. I'm definitely appreciative. It would not be a platform, or it would not be a big muff if it were not for the muffin letters.
Muffin letters.
So I definitely appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all for tuning in to this episode with us. It was so great having my big sis down. Please make sure that you go like, follow, comment, whatever, you know, flood her with some love. Make sure you also tune in to her YouTube. I'll post both here on the screen. Thank y'all so much for tuning in with us today. Let us know if you want a part 2, and we will see you later.
Hello.